Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Fronk. I am the host and creator of the show, Alyssa Fronk, and this is a soft launch to prepare you all for the main event. You may know me from the internet. I recently produced a 29-episode miniseries called Bucket List, where I spent the entire last year of my 20s trying 29 different things I had never done before turning 30. Or you've tuned into the Tennis Menace Report, which is my unofficial tennis show I host with my tennis coach and friend. I use that space to share my tennis progress and participate in the culture. Maybe we're former coworkers. I've had many a job. Or maybe we went to high school together and we haven't talked in like 12 years. Hey, how's it going? But you're most likely a friend or family member who is once again dropping by to support another one of my creative projects. Thank you for being here and standing on the sidelines of my life. I couldn't do this without you. So why a podcast? Why a pod show now? Amid podcast oversaturation and talking head fatigue, I hear you. The short answer? I've always wanted to helm successful creative projects that hold purpose. Whether it bring light, levity, education, open-minded conversations, healing, philanthropy, whatever it is, as long as the impact is undoubtedly good and not based in egocentric needs. Laughing out loud because yes, it's not lost on me that this show is named after me literally. Just please let me have the pun. Along with art, storytelling and conversations are great loves of mine. I've always felt like I learn best from other people. My greatest educational experiences have been when I've connected with communities and cultures other than my own. This is a medium that fosters connection and conversation while still allowing me to experiment creatively. I can also attribute my career to guiding me here. I studied mass media and journalism in college. I've held handfuls of marketing and news jobs. I've worked extensively in social media, taken on branding and consulting work, and even managed a podcast before I had the guts to start one of my own. I feel really lucky that I've been able to cultivate a few solid skill sets in my career so far. It really helps for multifaceted projects like these. The question of can I do it eventually morphed into why wouldn't I? This is just the next phase of the journey. Over the past few years, I've done a lot of soul searching and deep thinking about what I want my life to look like and what type of career do I ultimately want to have. For most of my 20s, I was laser focused on being a media girl, and I got my wish. I worked at one of the most coveted it spots in all of the New York media sphere. I loved my job. I loved my boss. I loved the people I worked with. I was so passionate about my work, and my life felt full of purpose. The pandemic hit and I struggled to work my news media job in an extremely taxing time in the industry. Plus, I was living alone, isolated from my friends and family, living in the epicenter of the pandemic and far away from this life that I had carefully crafted. I changed too. I wanted off the hamster wheel. I was burnt out from working so hard for other people with very little to show for it and being told over and over I was lucky to have my job. So I pivoted hard. I started freelancing and dabbling in different media spaces like podcasting and social media consulting. When the wind finally returned to my sails, and trust me, it took a while, I started taking the fun creative ideas that were living in my brain and putting them out into the world with little to no expectation. Just throwing spaghetti at the ceiling and seeing what would stick. Here's what you need to know about Let Me Be Fronk. To be transparent, not everything is figured out. I'm deep in the building phase of this project. The show's elevator pitch is still in limbo. I'm still experimenting with segments and show angles, but my goal was to just start. To not let perfectionism stand in the way, to not talk myself out of this. To instead really go for a creative, lofty endeavor and not shelf it for the perfect window of time that ultimately never comes. So here I am, humbly starting a pod show, inviting you to witness the process and join the community that I hope to cultivate from this space. Without a doubt, one of the best and most special aspects to the show are the guests. They aren't famous and maybe not even super well known, but they're real, authentic people working towards big goals and dreams just like myself. They're scrappy business owners, artists, community leaders, activists, and people that I've been lucky enough to connect with and now call my friends. This show offers the space to have insightful conversations with brilliant, dynamic minds. Y'all will be better for getting to know them. I do have a part-time co-host, and she goes by the name Moon Pie, aka Moony Fronk. She's my beautiful, sassy, one and only child. She is my beautiful, sassy, one and only kitty. She loves the set, especially the chairs, and she's always welcome to drop by and grace us with her presence. This is her home after all. I'm so lucky to have the talented and awesome Alli working alongside me as the show's producer. This bitch believes in the vision. And she's helped me elevate the concept into something I'm already proud of without launching. We haven't even started yet. Here's how it will go down. A new episode of Let Me Be Fronk will drop every single Wednesday on Spotify and YouTube, unless I am taking a hiatus, a holiday break. The YouTube version will include extended cuts, segments, and behind the scenes production footage, aka bonus content. I'll do my best to give a content warning if it's not suitable for kiddos or sensitive content in nature. Occasionally. Next question. God, what do I not do? I consume the culture on social and off. I also travel. I play tennis. I take my cat Mooney out for walks in the stroller. I take advantage of New York City's excellent culinary scene. I thrift and vintage hunt. Lots of DIY projects and interior decorating. I do my best to keep up with my very ambitious social circle that I'm fortunate to have. I work on my mental and physical health as much as possible. I practice the 420 lifestyle, chill, I live in a legalized state, and a bevy of other cool childless woman shenanigans whenever I feel like it. I didn't cover up my gallery wall with curtains. As you can clearly see, these are sheer. So you're seeing the art in a much more muted capacity that works better with the set. Here's the thing. A gallery wall is a wall full of different types of art, which I have accumulated here. This is all from my personal collection. It is 15 years in the making. It's one of my favorite parts in the entire apartment. Here's the problem I was running into. With the art wall fully exposed, 2 giant yellow barrel chairs, 2 guests in 2 different outfits. When you took a step back, it was a heaping eyeful and just not working on camera. Trust me, when the first episode drops, no offense to anyone, I just need you all to understand that this is a set in constant evolution and I'm entitled to change my mind at any point. But I think the sheer curtains add like a nice cozy den feeling to the set and I like them, so they're staying for now. Short answer, no. Long answer, there are overlapping elements. I plan to regularly weave in vlog and documentary style footage into my YouTube episodes. The footage will feature things like trying a new activity, reviewing a product, and as previously mentioned, I'll be documenting parts of production for fun peek behind the camera moments and bringing you along as I run and operate this show. Fingers and toes crossed. I'd have to say definitely. Yes, the set is really in my apartment. We're in my living room right now. This is a corner of my living room. I'm lucky to have a relatively spacious apartment by New York City standards, and Mama didn't have the money to shell out for a studio space, so please think of me as like a struggling artist who's just doing the best she can to make it. If you enjoy the show, please share with friends, write a review, or both if you're exceptional and hot on the inside and out. Let Me Be Fronk is also on TikTok and Instagram, and there will be exclusive content there on those platforms as well. Thank you so much for being here. I am determined to create the pod show I wish to see in the world, and I hope you like it at least. If you have any ideas for guest topics or want to connect with me directly, please reach out. Send an email to letmebefronk@gmail.com or just slide in my DMs. It's all right.